Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we want to take a look at Shadow Machamp, a Pokemon that was a very good back in the day but kinda disappeared, and now it is definitely kinda back in this meta because this meta is an interesting meta. The top fighting type Pokemon, of course, in the Great League Remix Cup are going to be banned, so we don't have to worry about especially Annihilate, which otherwise would be a hard-walling Machamp. And Machamp is actually really cool, and also it got buffed only this season. We're going to have access to the move Rock Slide now again, or like we had always, but like now Rock Slide actually does a little bit more damage, which is going to be great. And with that, we are going to be able to get to our coverage move way faster than before. I actually used an Elite TM to get Stone Edge on this Pokemon before, got rid of Stone Edge again, because honestly, pacing is more important than the extra damage of Stone Edge as a Rock Slide is going to be reached after just 5 fast moves. And even faster is going to be reached the cross chop after only 4 fast moves, which means that basically here the Machamp is insanely fast at getting to the moves and has great coverage in order to set up this team, because this team functions quite interestingly. We're going to have the Rock type Carbink in the lead, and we're going to have the Golurk in the back, and Machamp really fits in perfectly. What do I mean with that? We're going to have here, for example, Elite against the Diggersby, really bad. In comes the Fearow. And now think about it. Our lead is great against the Fearow. Our lead is where we want to have the Fearow. But not only this, we're actually going to be able to reach 2 Rock Slides before they are going to be able to knock us out. And this will allow us to get both of the shields. But not only this, we have now a shield advantage. We get energy advantage on Carbink, and we have Golurk in the back, which really did not want to face the flying type Pokemon here. And this is how this team works. We have the lead, that's perfect here just in order to knock out any flying type Pokemon. We have Golurk in the back, that's going to be very great in terms of the fast move pressure in this current cup, but that cannot really face any flying type Pokemon. It's really bad against flying type Pokemon. And then we're going to have our Machamp. Now Machamp is the glue that's going to fit this team together here, the glue that's going to allow us to set up Shadow Golurk basically to sweep games. Because we just want to get out the Pokemon we don't really like with it. And there's another Pokemon that we don't really like with the Golurk here that we're going to be able to bait out with Machamp that Machamp doesn't like either, which is a Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is a Pokemon that Carbink can deal with. Our Machamp can still go for some damage against this wall, and we can avoid it with our Golurk. And Golurk is still alright with a fast move pressure, don't get me wrong. Also, Dynamic Punch, of course, would one-shot it, but like the main charge move of Shadow Punch would not do anything there. And so here, we're going to see perfectly in the second battle on how this team is supposed to function, stop out, get the bait out, and win. Next opponent is going to have a great lead for us, but a worse face-up. This team isn't designed to deal with Florges. Florges is such an annoying Pokemon, and again, I will make a video towards the most annoying team when the Great League comes back, where we run Florges. We're going to run most likely the Aegislash, and we're most likely going to run the Morpeko together, because yeah, like I feel like Florges spamminess, the debuff and the boost chance basically on this Pokemon is so annoying. We have with Morpeko a Pokemon that has like the animation there for the fast move, for the charge move, which takes like ages, and the same goes for the Aegislash, which also is then a really bulky Pokemon. It would be, I think, a cool video. But anyway, we're going to see here right now the Torterra against us. Torterra is a core breaker for this team. Full stop. This is basically all I can say about it. Torterra is a core breaker for this team. I need to have my Machamp here in order to deal with Torterra. They're gonna stop out here. And honestly, I should have stayed in, tried to go for the full farmland, I guess. Because now they're going to just go back into the Torterra, and I'm just kind of screwed here. I know what they have in the back. I know that I need to go for a Moonblast here in order to knock them out. And I am going to be able to reach that move, which is honestly quite nice. Like, this is totally alright for us. We are going to be able to get the KO here now. And with that, we are going to see as well that the opponent can go back into their Typhlosion. We can go ahead and go for our charge move, and we have to survive this fast move when we win this battle, but we barely lose. Literally just a few HP were missing for us to survive this move there, but it is what it is. We can move on to the next one. Next up, we are going to have Amoonguss. Amoonguss is going to be an interesting Pokemon as well. Amoonguss is going to be a Pokemon that you don't really see a lot of times, but Amoonguss is a Pokemon as well that doesn't really like to get hit by 2 Rock Slides, and all of a sudden we are going to be able to now have our Machamp against the Steelix, which is great for us. And also we're going to have the Steelix against our Golurk, which is even better for us. And we're going to have our Carbink against whatever they have in the back, in this case Leavanny, and this is going to be a good game. We were getting hardwalled, but thanks to Machamp and thanks to the coverage that we have and thanks to us getting to the Rock Slide way faster, we were actually able to win this battle here. And yes, we are going to be able to win the battle because unless I completely fail, I am going to be able to win this one. We have the Steelix that has to go up now against the Golurk. We have 2 shields on our side. This Mud Slap is going to knock them out. What are they going to do here now? So yeah, Leaf Blade is coming through. It's going to knock them out, and we can now see here they can go for the charge move. Nothing I'm worried about. They need to go for 2 charge moves anyway, and as you see here, the Dynamic Punch is going to be able to knock them out. And with that, we are going to be able to move on to the next opponent, where we will face the Golurk. The Golurk is going to be great for us in the lead. This is exactly where I want to face it, and so we kind of need to keep alignment. They decide to stay in here though, and I'm like, alright, I will take this. I will gladly take this. As you're going to see the stop out onto the Drapier, and I can stop out into my Golurk. And here we see something crucial. We get this fast move through. This one fast move is going to also, they go for Crunch, this is going to allow me to go for the full farm down before they can reach another move. And this will allow me now to go for the Shadow Punches against the opponent's Golurk. And we're going to have a one coming through, getting the shield. We have another one coming through, getting either the KO or the shield. I don't really care too much. And again, Golurk is showcasing the pressure that you can have here. We see the shield coming up. The opponent decides to go for a charge move. That is alright by me. We're going to get knocked out here by the Orchid Jet, but this is totally okay. As we're going to still have our Rock type here against them. They go into their own Carbink, and I can take this as an opportunity to showcase Machamp's spamminess against this Pokemon. We're just going to be able to go for the cross chop spam, and this should secure us this victory because now we can just go for another charge move. This is going to be enough to get them kind of maybe into range for another cross chop, which would be kind of alright. And so I can shield this move up here. I still have energy on my other Pokemon as well. I could even, I'm just going to go for the other move here for the cross chop. That should be hopefully enough to knock them out. It is, and with that, we are going to be able to even win here just without Machamp. Another cross chop is going to seal the deal. Even though it's resisted, it's going to be enough, and we can move on to the next one, where we will face a Steelix here again. Not an ideal lead, but what we can do, of course, is we can stop out of here. We're going to get out the Florges, and that is alright. Like, I'd rather have the Florges here, I guess, compared to having it up against my other Pokemon, against my Golurk, because Golurk will take super effective damage from the charge moves here. Here, at least I can take one, but I can only reach one cross chop. I can maybe hope that they decide to use a shield here, which I highly doubt, but I still got them really, really low. They still got, oh, they don't even get to another move here. That is amazing. I can stop out here straight away, and they're going to greet me in the back with a Pokemon that I don't really like. I know still which Pokemon it is. I did the battles today. I still remember. It's the Jellicent, and Jellicent is a Pokemon that is just so difficult to deal with, and the opponent made a great play there as well by going for the debuff first, because now the hex damage is just adding up way too much, forcing me to forfeit this battle. I cannot win this if my Pokemon is dead like this. But anyway, we are going to have a great lead matchup here. Let's see on how we can screw it up. We're going to have a nice Say-Stop there as well. We're going to have the Toxapex up against our Golurk. This is perfect for us. Like, we have a great lead, we have a great Say-Stop. Let's see on how we can mess this one up still. We're going to be able to get some energy in. That's alright. We have a charge move coming through. That's perfect. This is even going to force a shield, which I found quite interesting. But we're going to be able to go for another move here, which is also quite interesting. So, how could I mess this possibly up? Like, we're in such a good spot. I just have to stay in here against that other Pokemon, or even go for a Dynamic Punch against the... Oh wait, I swap out into Ninetales, expecting the Powder Snow with my Fighting type Pokemon. And what do they have in the bag? Of course, the hardest answer to Carbink. Luckily, we have so much energy on our Golurk, it doesn't matter. We are going to be able to go for a hard-hitting move. We are going to be able to go for the Dynamic Punch. And with that, we're still going to be able to win this battle. But I felt like maybe this could have been a bit riskier in a different world. Not in this one. We're still going to win, of course. And we can move on to the next opponent. With this team, by the way, I climbed up close to 2,700 ELO range, which is kind of nice. I definitely did climb up quite a bit with this team, which is really cool. I am most likely going to tank a little bit again. Could be the case soon. The reason is we're going to have 2 new Shadow Pokemon coming up tomorrow. They are going to be frustrated still. So I have to go for like a frustration. I mean, it's going to be an interesting one. Anyway, we have 2 new Shadow Pokemon coming up tomorrow. I hope that I can still at least showcase one of them, maybe even 2 of them. We have to see on how things going to go. But as we will going to see as well, we are going to be able to go for the cross chop. And this is going to allow us to go for a shield here. But again, this is, by the way, a really awkward scenario for us, where I do think I'm going to lose straight away, because what I have to do is I have to see CMP time. This is going to be the Psychic Fangs. I had to see CMP time here in order to have any chance of still winning this battle, which I doubt at this point, because look at this. The opponent still has a Steelix left. I knew that they would have outsped me there if I would have tried to get more energy. And so it's now down to Carbink against the Steelix, and Steelix will not enjoy... I mean, it's going to do a lot of damage here, right? It's going to get the Psychic Fangs off, okay? That's going to do not as much damage, but it's going to... Wait, are we actually having a good spot here? We're going to be able to go for a Moonblast. They're nearly down, but they're going to still have the Air Credit. And now we had -1 defense. They're going to go for the super effective Water Pulse, Stab move, and it is not enough. And this is generally not enough. Yeah, getting rid of a Carbink is always a little bit of a trickier one, I have to say. Like, this is something that is just a bit more tougher. But yeah, as you can see here, we are going to have the Fortress. Fortress is an interesting Pokemon. Fortress is a Pokemon that we are going to be able to generally deal with, as we will see here as well. The opponent is going to, go into the Jellicent now. Jellicent, by the way, is the biggest core breaker for this team. There's not really a lot they can do about it. Like, Jellicent is just going to be a very, very strong Pokemon against us. As we will see here as well, there's going to be the Rock Slide coming through. This is going to allow us to get the shield though, and we can go for another Rock Slide, which at least is going to allow us to get a little bit more damage in against them, which we need because we need to get them low. We need to get them low to put them into range for our Rock Slide, for the Mud Slap, for whatever. And so I decided to even use a shield here with my Machamp in order to force another shield or even getting the KO here. And I think this is kind of a cool thing there as well. As you will see, we're going to have the biggest B. Out of all of them, it's only one Pokemon they really didn't want to face, and this is going to be the biggest B here. This is such a bad matchup for me, as now we are going to be in a position where, yeah, we just don't really have any play anymore. We're going to see here that the opponent is going to be able to go for the charge move, and it's looking so dire for us. There's not really a lot that we can do about it, as we will see as well. The opponent is going to be able to just get a lot of damage onto us, and it is what it is. We see here the charge move coming through. They're going to go into the Fortress. We're sadly going to lose this. It's okay. We're going to see here there's Hansen coming through. Of course, we're going to be in a very, very bad spot. We have no HP left on my Golurk anymore, so... Oh, wait. We have the Shadow Punch coming up against the Jellicent. I need one more fast move against this DSP. One more fast move. And this is going to be the one that we needed. And this is going to be it for this game. Good game. And Golurk showcase again why this Pokemon is so amazing. Honestly, for me, it's one of the top Pokemon, like the most fun Pokemon, is for me that Golurk. Golurk is such a cool Pokemon because unlike the other Pokemon that have Ghost and Fighting type charge move coverage, where you have 3, I think, total and like together with the Golurk here, we're going to have the Dusknoir, and we're going to have the Annihilate. Okay, no, actually, we have 4 as well with the Primeape. Out of all of them, Golurk is the only one that has a third typing where it can do damage with. The other ones have either doubling up on the Fighting type damage with Karate Chop and Counter, or doubling up with the Ghost type damage with Astonish. But Golurk is the only one that has Dynamic Punch, has Shadow Punch, and Mud Slap, and this is such a big game changer. But as we will see here, we are not going to be in the best position. We are going to be forcing the opponent to go for a shield, and in comes our Carbink. This is going to be alright. We're going to try our best to go for another charge move here, but as you're going to see, the opponent is going to be able to go for the foul play. Why do they go for foul play? Like a superpower would have done more damage against us. But they are not here for the damage. They're here because they want to keep their Malamar around. That's what I'm guessing from this one. And so the shield is coming up. They just want to keep their Malamar. They're going to be able to farm us down. We're going to have still a shield left. That shield is coming up now, but can we still win this? We cannot. This Pokemon still had a charge move stored. I need one more fast move in order to knock out the Weezing. And well done by the opponent though. This was really well done, and this can be it also for this game. We can move on to the next one. The Mega Jonko, shouts to you. Yeah, also if you're off the channel, so yeah, really cool to see you here as well. And the thing is with them, they're already legend. It's a really, really good player here, by the way. But what they do is as soon as they hit legend, a lot of times they just meme. And they are memeing here right now quite hard. They're memeing with a little duck, with the Porygon, we have the Torkoal, which is also not really the most common Pokemon. I actually purposefully overfarmed here because I know that a Rock Slide from Machamp is not going to be enough here. A Rock Slide isn't enough, but I also know that I should be able, if this lands, to farm them down. And this is exactly what's going to happen now. This is actually on purpose. I knew that this would be happening like this. I kind of have a little bit more clue towards Torkoal. It's a book as well. I played it already this season. And so yeah, I'm going to be able to now just destroy them. Like, there's nothing that I can say about it. It was just Machamp knocking out every single Pokemon here. And this is kind of cool, of course, to showcase. But of course, it is also not a Pokemon, like the Pokemon here are not the Pokemon that you would usually see. And this is the thing as well, though, and why a team like this from my opponent here, from the Mega Junko, could even, in theory, work, is because fighting-type Pokemon are quite rare in this meta. They are really rare in this meta because no one is really running them currently. The main ones are banned. The next one higher up is Kommo-o, which I wouldn't consider directly as a fighting-type Pokemon. Nowadays, it is a bit more of a fighting-type Pokemon because it actually has access to the move Upper Hand, which is better than what it had previously. But it is definitely not like up there with like the counter users or whatever. Like here in this case, we're going to have the Machamp with the Karate Chop user. So at the end of the day, I do think that, yeah, it's a bit awkward here. I do think that a lot of the teams are just quite weak to fighting types. And this is also why I do think that Golurk works quite well. While it's not a fighting type, it is that fighting type coverage that you want. And so, yeah, as you're going to see, we are going to be able to now go up against a Lantern. This is going to be a bit of an awkward one. My play is here actually to go for 2 Rock Slides in order to force, hopefully, that shield. If I go for Moonblast, I do more damage generally, but I know I'm not going to get to another move afterwards, and so I decide to go ahead and go for the double Rock Slide. Turns out my opponent, I know my opponent as well, by the way, a very, very good player, is going to be able to play it perfectly. They decide to get up to 2 serves, which is the only way of winning them for them, and they're going to be able to win this one now. Calling, of course, that the no-shield there is the only way of winning. It is a good game there. They did play it well, but I'm not really too surprised about it either. Next up, we are going to see, very interestingly, the Fortress. This is going to be very, very good. We are going to have here a nice charge move going through, doing some solid damage against the opponent. And in comes our Weekly Tough there. This is going to be alright. Actually, this is kind of where we want to bait it out. But at the end of the day, yeah, we're going to have, Carbink, which can go for the full farm down. And this is kind of what we want to do. Carbink is going to be the Pokemon that we kind of want to have here in order to knock them. As our Golurk in the back can take the fast move pressure especially. But as we're going to see, we are going to have the Swift coming in here. We're going to have the full farm down coming through. And in comes again that Fortress. I can go for a shield. It is going to be a Phantom. Not really expecting this one. And so Rockman in the back. This is going to be a tough matchup for me. The thing that kind of goes towards me is, though, I know I am going to be able to guarantee having my Carbink against this thing. I have energy on my Carbink as well still. I'm just not too sure if I'm going to be able to play it perfectly. I am forced to use a shield here. I'm forced to keep my Golurk alive. But now I have the option, because also they went for the Water Pulse, to go into my Carbink, go for the Rock Slide, force the shield from the opponent here early on, and go for another Rock Slide as well, which is going to allow us to get that KO, and we can move on to the... Oh, actually not anymore. We cannot move on to anything because it's going to be the final battle, and it's going to be it for this video. This is an interesting team. This is a very strong team. I like Machamp. I think it's cool that Machamp is back and has so much potential. But yeah, let me know down below what you think about this team, and I will see you tomorrow for some top teams for the Great League. Bye-bye.